The island of Circe. On Circe's shore we moored our one last ship, but then, remembering Antiphates and savage Polyphemus, we refused to leave the beach, but lots were drawn and I was chosen to approach those unknown halls. The lot sent me with shrewd Eurylochus and my true friend Polites and Elpenor, too fond of wine, and 18 more of us to Circe's walls. As soon as we arrived and reached the portal, lions, bears, and wolves, hundreds of them together, rushed at us and filled our hearts with fear. But fear we found was false. They meant no single scratch of harm. No, they were gentle, and they wagged their tails and fawned on us and followed us along, until the maids in waiting welcomed us and led us through the marble vestibule into their mistress's presence. There she sat in a fine chamber, on a stately throne, in purple robe and cloak of woven gold, and in attendance nymphs and nereids, whose nimble fingers never comb a fleece nor spin a skein, but sort and set in baskets grasses and flowers, heaped in disarray, and herbs of many hues. And as they work she guides and watches, knowing well herself the lore of every leaf, what blend is best, and checks them closely as the plants are weighed. She saw us then, and, salutations made, her welcome seemed an answer to our prayers. At once she bade the servants mix a brew of roasted barley, honey and strong wine and creamy curds, and then, to be disguised in the sweet taste, she poured her essences. We took the bowls she handed, magic hands. Our throats were dry and thirsty. We drank deep. And then the demon goddess lightly laid her wand upon our hair, and instantly bristles, the shame of it, but I will tell, began to sprout. I could no longer speak. My words were grunts. I groveled to the ground. I felt my nose change to a tough, wide snout, my neck thicken and bulge. My hands that held the bowl just now made footprints on the floor. And with my friends who suffered the same fate, such power have magic potions, I was shut into a sty. Eurylochus alone, we saw, missed a swine's shape, for he alone refused the offered bowl, and had he not escaped it, I should still be numbered with that bristly herd today. For from his lips Ulysses never would have learnt our ruin, nor ever come to Circe for revenge. He had been given by Mercury, who brings the boon of peace, a flower which the gods call moly, a white bloom with root of black. Secure with this and heaven's guiding grace, he entered Circe's halls, and as she coaxed him to the treacherous cup, and with her wand was trying to stroke his hair, he thrust her off, and drew his sword, and back she shrank in dread. Then trust was pledged, and hands were clasped. She took him to her bed, and he, for wedding gift, called for his comrade's shape to be restored. So we were sprinkled with the saving juice of some strange herb, and on our heads the wand was touched, reversed. And words of countering power were chanted to unspell the chanted spells. The more she sang her charms, the more erect we rose. Our bristles fell, our cloven feet forsook their clefts. Our shoulders, elbows, arms came back again. Our captain was in tears, and we, in tears ourselves, with open arms embraced our lord. And the first words we spoke, our very first, were words of gratitude. A year we lingered in that land, and much in that long time I saw and much I heard. And this tale too, which I learnt privately from one of the 4 acolytes who serve those magic rites. She pointed out to me one day while Circe dallied with my lord, a statue of a youth in snow-white marble, set in a shrine and gaily garlanded with many a wreath, who bore upon his head a woodpecker. I asked her who he was, why worshipped in that shrine, and why the bird upon his head, for I was curious. Listen, she said, and learn from this tale too my mistress's magic power, and mark my words.